You're listening to 91.5 WDBK-FM, the voice of Camden County College. Tonight, we present special coverage of the final 2025 New Jersey Gubernatorial Debate, a pivotal moment as voters prepare to choose the state's next leader. Students of WDBK will take you through a newscast until 6 o'clock with live updates from me, radio station coordinator Nick Earnshaw, and our student director, Vincent Foch, at the New Brunswick site of tonight's debate. Here is the WDBK newscast team.
Welcome to 91.5 WDBK's coverage for the governor debate. My name is Jose Fox, and I am here with Ian, Damir, and Savannah. Now, before we get to them in the studio, we are going to go live to New Brunswick, where station manager Nick Earnshaw and WDBK student director Vincent Foch.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Jose. Great job. As always, we are live from the Performing Arts Center here in New Brunswick, and we are having a good time, to say the least. It's awesome. We're getting ready to go in just a little bit, and at 6 o'clock is when the entire media will fill in. They will fill in to the Performing Arts Center, get ready to roll, and it's going to be a fun time. We saw all the news trucks out there, Vincent, and I'll pass it over to you for your report on what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, right now what we are seeing out front, I mean, you see all the folks getting ready. We saw a couple people with signs standing out front. So there are people gathering, and of course, this event is not open to the public. It is media only. Of course, the first of two governor debates, where one was open to the public, kind of more of a, I guess you could say, public outing, as you had multiple different folks. It was in a gymnasium. This one, not so much, but it's only going to be open to the media, and I think we're going to be in for a good treat tonight. Great location. The sun's shining. A little windy, but hey, it's definitely a great day for this, and we're lucky to be here and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to go here in New Brunswick. Nick Earnshaw, station manager, alongside Vincent Foch as well. We're going to take you through the entirety of this next hour and a half. We'll be with you the whole time, but we also have a great crew, as you can see from the from the WDBK studios. We are outside the Performing Arts Center here in New Brunswick, where Mikey Sherrill and Jack Chitterelli will face off for the final time before that November 4th election. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to go to some of our panel now in the studio. I will first start with Ian Brown. Ian, I know you have a complete breakdown on one of the candidates. Tell us who it is.
Yeah, so our Democratic candidate for governor is Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. She's an experienced politician, lawyer, and military veteran who served in the Navy. And she was elected. She was elected for the 11th congressional district in 2017.
All right, thank you so much, Ian. We'll go to Damir. Damir, I know you have something on the other candidate on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah, that's right. That's Jack Chitterelli. He is the Republican candidate. He's an American politician, businessman, and he was the Republican nominee for governor. He is the Republican nominee for governor in the 2025 national election. He's the party's nominee before the 2021 election. He was actually born in Somerville, New Jersey, and raised in the neighboring borough of Raritan. His ultimate goal for New Jersey is to cap property taxes to a percentage of assessed home value so that working families and young people can afford to buy a home while expanding the senior property tax freeze.
All right. Thank you so much, Damir. And we will go to Savannah, who's going to be updating us on all of the social media content going out on air. Savannah, give us a rundown of what's going on back at the studio.
All right, so back at the studio, recently we have some Instagram stories up so far that you guys can go check out on 91.5 WDBK on Instagram. We also have a YouTube video coming out soon with some interviews from all of the panel here at the studio, which should be out sometime today, hopefully before the end of the debate. But we're also live streaming on YouTube, so check that out as well, so you can see us here in the studio and see you guys there at your station as well. But new stuff coming as time goes on, though.
All right, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Vincent, kind of give us a breakdown here at the Performing Arts Center right outside on our WDBK kind of setup here that we got going on. Give us a breakdown of the two candidates and what you have so far and what you're expecting tonight.
Well, I mean, so far, first starting off with Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli, this has been a type of scenario where he has been specifically looking at his campaign in the term of following it on how New Jersey's taxes, how high the New Jersey's taxes are, energy costs, things like that is what he has been kind of running his campaign on as a whole. And of course, ever since he ran 4 years ago, of course, yes, he ran for governor 4 years ago. Now, this is his third time running for governor, but 4 years ago against Phil Murphy, this was what he had his campaign on as well. Now, of course, last time he didn't come through, of course, right? But it was tight. This was a very, very tight race. And of course, in a election like we saw with the presidential election on how close it was between Trump and Harris in New Jersey, right now it is looking like Jersey possibly for the future could be getting towards some mid-ground in terms of politics. We're possibly being a flip state in the near future. Again, I don't want to go too off on a limb on that. But again, Ciattarelli has been focusing his campaign around energy costs and being able to as well back our officers, which is another big time focus that he has throughout his campaign. Of course, he has a great number of endorsements from law enforcement agencies, and this is something where he is in general just been running off of the negatives of New Jersey in terms of, like I said, the cost in general, which is something that has really been getting on New Jersey taxpayers' mind, of course, with sweeping tax relief. And this includes capping property taxes with first-time buyers, freezing them for seniors, and making retirement income tax-free is a big portion of where he is looking to focus his campaign, especially with a debate like tonight. This is something where if that topic does indeed come up again, of course, it came up a few times. They went over it in the first debate, but that's kind of where Ciattarelli is looking to aim his whole area, I would say, tonight. And of course, for Mikey Sherrill, yes, affordability is also on the top of her list as well, one of her top priorities. But this is something where the average utility bill in New Jersey rose 20% because of increased electric demand and backlog of new power applications. And this is something where the PGM interconnection grid, which covers all parts of the 13 states of Washington, D.C. as well being included in that. This is something that she is really looking to focus on, of course, as well. The green energy, another thing that her and as well with the other Democrats on the platform are looking to offer, of course, councilmen, things like that. So this is something where she's looking to as well bring it down, but to go kind of in that green energy route, where Ciattarelli is kind of the opposite of that with the fossil fuels. And that's kind of where we stand right there, of course, their energy so far. But of course, there will be more to discuss in the upcoming moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Vince, great breakdown there. I want to go to our lead producer in the studio, Jose Fox, who's doing a great job back in the studio with the entire newscast team. We have a great group of our WDBK students working on the YouTube stream, as well as the radio side, on the air, behind the scenes, graphics, you name it. We have an entire crew back at the studio. So, Jose, I know you have a rundown of who the current governor is and why he will be unable to run this time around, correct? That's why we have two new candidates. Yep. And tell me about Phil Murphy, our current governor.
And Murphy took the oath of the office as New Jersey's 56th governor on January 16th of 2018 after being reelected in November of 21. Governor Murphy became the first Democrat governor in New Jersey to serve two terms in 44 years since taking office in 2018. And Governor Murphy has focused on building a stronger, fairer, and more affordable New Jersey for every family under his leadership, too. And New Jersey has also taken strides to achieve a record high economic growth, expanding critical investments to lower costs for working families, and restoring responsibilities to state governments, and creating a new economic opportunities in every community, and shrinking the long-standing inequalities.
Absolutely, Jose. I mean, this is something where, we look at this again, and of course, with Phil Murphy, the second term, of course, New Jersey as a whole having back-to-back two-term governors. Of course, Chris Christie had his 2 terms, Phil Murphy picked up. So this is something where it is kind of a new type of curtain. We're opening the curtain on a new area right now. Of course, 2 brand new candidates. Of course, yes, we know Chitterelli has ran a couple times in the past, but this is still a great opportunity to see what is on the table. And for Chitterelli, I mean, you look at the opportunity he has here to possibly flip the state of New Jersey that we know is already heavily blue, and a state that is heavily blue through all the different levels, of course, starting with governor and how they vote in presidential races, congressmen, the Senate. I mean, this is a state where, it's just a heavy blue state. And this is another one where Democrats, of course, are looking at this state to be something that they can continue to hold on to, especially down the line. And of course, like the Republicans have Texas, now states like Florida that they can really rely on. Democrats have California, New Jersey, and this is something what they're looking to completely hang on to. But right now, again, looking at poll numbers, they are close to 50-50 for this as poll numbers keep going up and down. We've seen as these weeks have passed by, of course, going back in September, the last debate that did happen, of course, and at the end of September, that was kind of where the poll numbers, they went up a little bit for Cheryl, and then next thing you know, they kind of made their way back down into the even standpoint once again. So this is going to be something we're looking at right now. The state seems pretty flipped, and of course, Jack Chitterelli chasing counties that are blue, going into multiple different locations where in the past Republicans have not done so well. And this is something where, he's been campaigning everywhere. This is going to be a little bit of a tough, I would say tough area for Democrats right now, trying to hold him back. And especially, right now, what Cheryl's going up against, of course, we already know these past 4 years how energy costs have risen up. Of course, we've already talked enough about energy costs, but of course, as well with Cheryl, really focusing on the mental health crisis that is going on at this time, looking to take mental health extremely serious as well. And she has talked to many different college students, many different students in general on just coming up through the ranks of school. And this is something where, of course, going to tuition costs, things like that. And this is, just in general with technology, engineering, and mathematics, really looking on our education system, which is another big time focus for her. So this is something where you look at, Mikey Cheryl, and her whole campaign is, I'm not going to tell you everything that you want to hear. And this was something, of course, where we go back to affordability with Cheryl's platform in June with the utility costs of New Jersey and how they rose 20%, like I discussed prior to this at the beginning of the show. But this is something where she has blatantly said, I'm not just going to come out here and tell you what you want to hear. That way I can just get votes and whatnot. I don't want to. She's trying to space herself away from that typical politician look of just saying what you want to hear. That way you can get votes, things like that. But that's currently where we stand at this point. And of course, it's going to be a tight one, and we'll see exactly what forms here coming up at 6:00. Of course, that is the start of 6:00 is when we'll be let into the area, of course, to watch the debate and get some intel on the debate. But of course, like last time, property taxes came up as well with segregated schools, things like that. Of course, Chitterelli had some quotes to say on that, of course, that got some people, some controversial statements of saying, quote, we We do have the most school segregated schools, but I wonder if we would be having this discussion if the performance of schools with regularly black students populations were outperforming schools in predominantly white populations. And that was a quote from Chitterelli. And this is something where we'll just have to see exactly how they go through this entire segment, of course. And of course, Cheryl as well replied to that saying, quote, she was able to come back where that's exactly what she was, her standpoint. Again, I'm not going to say, what you guys want to hear, right? And this is where she responds, said, quote, I'm also going to attack the segregation we have going in the state. My opponent doesn't care about that, was what Cheryl replied to him as. So debate was getting a little, I'd say, back and forth, a little chippy, but I want to go back to the panel again to get your thoughts on how these two are going to mesh. As close as these poll numbers are, they keep fluctuating, but they still, at the end of the day, find a way to kind of level out at 50-50. So I'll start with you, Ian. Your overall thoughts on how close this is and, what this debate could do to the poll numbers in the future and how it could sway voters.
Very interesting. All of the points you said, Vince. Yeah, it's interesting because Chitterelli has the backing of President Trump. So, and Cheryl has the backing of labor unions here in New Jersey. So, the latest polls show that she has a fair lead ahead of Chitterelli so far. She has obviously a backing of Democrats here in New Jersey and fellow Democrats in the House of Representatives too. So, yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And this has been something where, again, trying to hold that onto that blue state type of mentality, not to let it slip away, has been something that has, let's just say, been key this entire, I should say this in mostly in the entire race. But I mean, moving on, I'll go to you now, Jose. I mean, your overall thoughts on the entire situation with the poll numbers fluctuating now, showing the current poll number has Cheryl now in front. I'll go to you, Jose. I mean, what is your reaction to that, and how do you think that this debate tonight will fluctuate that? Of course, this is the second and final debate for this, as of course, around less than a month away will be the big decision day for the Garden State. Jose, your thoughts?
And yeah, as you said, and you made some great points, and with the fluctuation between votes due to Jack and Shirley, and I honestly think, and with her backing with the labor unions, with her overall view of it, and I think she could possibly be the one that people choose, and there's also that other part of it within Jack where some people may see that, and Jack's point of view with New Jersey in general could be good. So, and who knows, and with time come, and one may pick the Republican, one may pick the other one. So, back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for the insight, Jose. And again, we were saying, I mean, the main thing right now for Chitterelli, yes, he obviously has the flip factor, something where he's looking to go for. And I mean, currently at this time, I mean, just over the weekend, Chitterelli got endorsements from Democrats that are he's trying, I would say, to flip on the aisle right here, as North Bergen Commissioner Alan Pascal and West New York Commissioner Marcus Ariel endorsed Jack Chitterelli, like I said, over the weekend. Of course, former West New York Mayor Sal Vega, a Democrat, and former West New York Commissioner Alberto Rodriguez have also endorsed Chitterelli as well. Now, these endorsements are definitely significant, and this is something where, again, finding areas of the state where you usually would think are not Republican, he's getting these people to get on his side, of course. And I mean, this is something that could possibly be big, of course, with getting big heads of the Democratic Party. And when I say big heads, I mean top people of the party, especially in the state of New Jersey, that could possibly flip and also bring votes with them as well. that's the current area, of course, where Chitterelli is really looking to focus in on, hone in on. And I mean, these are definitely, like I said, these are significant. There was another one from Hudson County that came in where, I mean, this could be big. This really could be big at the end of the day. And I'll go now to Nick Earnshaw, our radio station coordinator, who's along with me here in New Brunswick. Your thoughts overall on how this debate could fluctuate the polls and fluctuate voters' opinions.
Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating debate to say the least, guys. I am very excited to be here with you all doing this debate. And listen, this is a massive deal because you're going to have a new governor, right? And you had Jose talk about earlier that, listen, this is it for Governor Murphy. This is his final term. He cannot run again. He has ran twice, 2 terms, 8 years. It is now time for a new governor. So we will have somebody new in office very, very soon, which is a really fascinating thing. And look, Jack Chitterelli has run 3 times. And could 3rd time be the charm? We will see. I think this debate is very important. And Mikey Sherrill, how is she going to fare in this debate as well, right? They've already debated once. And now this is the 2nd time they're going to debate. The lieutenant governors also debated too. They debated in between both of these debates. So this is the 3rd and final one. This is it. This is kind of the last hoorah for the state of New Jersey for voters to kind of see the differences between the 2 candidates. And that's very important, right? To understand this is kind of the last time you'll see both of these 2 on the stage, both candidates on the same stage in a different format as well. The last one was kind of a town hall style, questions from the audience way of doing things in the last debate. And this one is going to be more structured. It is run by ABC 7 in New York as well as 6 ABC in Philadelphia. They're the ones who are going to be part of this debate and running the entirety of the whole thing. So it's a different medium, Vincent, that we're going to be watching tonight, and the state of New Jersey will be watching, and its residents will be watching, okay? So very, very interesting stuff, to say the least. Before we get out of here and we go to break, I do want to get Savannah back on and say, give them an update again on what can we expect on the social platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we're about to go take our break, I'm going to do probably some more interviews with our panel here at the studio while we have some time, where people that aren't going to go on air. So that'll be up on the story. Like I said, I'm going to go check on our other social media handler, Alyssa. She should be editing the YouTube video right now, so that should be up soon. And then the stream is going the entire time. So
Yep. So stay tuned on the socials. Demir, Ian, Jose, we have another group coming in just a couple of minutes. So stay tuned for everybody that is going to be on the air, giving updates, giving some information about the history of the debates, history of the candidates, etc. So, Jose, I'm going to send it back to you, and you can throw it to break.
Yeah, in over the past couple of minutes, and we all made some great points about the different people who running for governor. Like, as you said, both of you, Vince and Nick, that this is the last time that we will see Governor Phil Murphy in office. So, and I don't know will be coming up, and who knows. So we will be back in a little bit.
Camden Camden County College Tutoring Services. We are here to help you succeed. Do you want a little extra support to boost your confidence and grades? Camden County College is here for you. Our tutoring services offer personalized guidelines to help you master your coursework, achieve your goals, and stay on track to graduate. Find us on the second floor of Wolverton Library at our Blackwood campus and in the Student Learning Center on our Camden campus. We also offer remote and limited online tutoring options for flexible support wherever you are. Our dedicated tutors are here to empower you every step of the way. Don't hesitate. Reach out and let's achieve your best together.
Did you know that Camden County College has a food pantry? Camden County College has food pantries open to assist students in need of food and various supplies. For donations or assistance about the pantries, please contact Associate Dean Tenuto at jtenuto@camdencc.edu for food distribution. The marketplace is stocked with monetary and food donations by our college community. You can donate through the marketplace's Amazon wish list, through the foundation, or by stopping by as well. Please consider donating.
Jack Chitterelli, born on December 12, 1961, in Somerville, New Jersey, and raised in the neighboring borough of Raritan. His ultimate goal in New Jersey is to cap property taxes to a percentage of assessed home value so that working families and young people can afford to buy a home while expanding the senior property tax rate. Jack is an entrepreneur and small business owner, twice over, having founded 2 Main Street businesses located in New Jersey. In the public arena, he has served at every level of government, including the Raritan Borough Council, the Somerset County Freeholder Board, and the State Assembly, each time winning tough races and then voluntarily term limiting himself. Then in 2021, Jack ran for governor and re-energizing the state's Republican Party. He led the ticket historic victories up and down the state, with Republicans picking up 7 seats in the state legislature. Keep future budget growth no more than the rate of inflation, and aggressively use the line item veto pen to eliminate and prevent waste. Also reduce the corporation business tax by 1% per year for 5 years, taking it from the highest rate in the nation to one that is competitive nationally. Jack decreased income taxes for all taxpayers, consolidate tax brackets, and prohibit tax increase on home improvements, and make student loan interest tax deductible. Chitterelli will attract the younger demographic of people who move to New Jersey by refunding the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition for anyone who attends college and then lives and works.
Kickbacks to the light. Kickbacks to the big one. He lives behind me. And don't you want him in your head? And don't you want
inspired by her mother, who served as a pilot during World War II. She wanted to become a pilot at a young age. She was among the first class of women eligible for direct assignment to fly combat aircraft. Cheryl graduated from the Naval Academy in 1994, but was barred from walking at commencement. Cheryl said that her absence from commencement was punishment for her failure to report students implicated in a major cheating scandal at the academy. She later completed over a year of flight training, was designated as a naval aviator after graduation from the Advanced Rotary Wing Training Pipeline at NASB, a U.S. helicopter pilot in the H-3 Seeking. Cheryl served on active duty in the U.S. for 9 years, the final 5 in the ranking of lieutenant. Cheryl would later attend law school after leaving the Navy in 2003, earning a degree from Georgetown University. She worked as a lawyer and eventually joined the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey as an outreach and reentry coordinator. In 2015, Cheryl became a federal prosecutor as an assistant U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey, working under U.S. Attorney Paul Fishman. She left that office in 2016. At the time, she was going into the field of criminal justice reform. In 2017, Cheryl launched her campaign for New Jersey's 11th congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives. That seat was held by 12-term Republican incumbent Rodney Floyd Frelinghuysen, the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee. Cheryl launched her campaign for New Jersey governor in November of 2024. In the primary on June 10th of 2025, she won the Democratic nomination with 34% of the vote, defeating mayors Ross Baraka and Stephen Fulop of Newark and Jersey City, respectively. She will face Republican Jack Ciattarelli in the November 4th general election.
Here at Camden County College, mental health is one of our top priorities. Students face many challenges in pursuit of their academic and professional goals. If this sounds like something that you have felt or gone through before and are looking for that helping hand with support in dealing with stress, feeling overwhelmed, a personal matter, or a circumstance that may impact your academic success, well, make sure to reach out to the Center for Counseling and Wellness today. You can contact Andrea Falzone or Shirley Michelle Williams by email counseling@camdencc.edu or by phone at 856-227-7200 with either extension 4559 or extension 4556. And remember, you are not alone.
You are listening to 91.5 WDBK-FM's coverage of the final 2025 Gubernatorial Debate. Now let's get back to the show.
And welcome back to our final segment in the 2025 governor debate. And we went through a lot of coverage between Murphy and our two candidates for the upcoming governor. And I'm gonna pass it back to Nick and Vincent.
All right, we are back live here outside the New Brunswick Performing Arts Center. We're just getting closer and closer to the final debate between our two gubernatorial candidates for governor. We have Mikey Sherrill on the Democratic side and Jack Ciattarelli on the Republican side. One more. We're getting closer and closer to debate time. We're also getting closer and closer to Election Day. So with that, I want to bring in our panel that is in the studio. They're going to go down one more time, each of their candidates, and what to know about them, where they're from, where they were born, just a little rundown. And we will start with Ian Brown. Ian, take it away on Mikey Sherrill.
Yes, so Mikey is a military veteran. She will continue to support veterans. Here in New Jersey, the veterans here in New Jersey the full backing of her, and yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much, Ian, for that rundown. Next, we'll go to Demir, who has info on Jack Chittarelli.
Jack Chittarelli, in the public arena, he served at every level of government, including the Raritan Borough Council, the Somerset County Freeholder Board, and the State Assembly. Each time winning tough races and then voluntarily term limiting himself. Jack Chittarelli, he's also an entrepreneur and a small business owner twice over, having founded 2 successful Main Street businesses located right here in New Jersey.
All right, great job by Demir. And then we'll go to our last panel member, Ryan, who has information on lieutenant candidates as well as what is going on in the last couple of debates. Ryan.
All right, so on the key moments of the last lieutenant governor debate, Lieutenant Governor candidate Caldwell pointed his record on shared services, while Gannon vowed to cut and cap taxes, saying, quote, "The back of the taxpayer is broken." And on energy taxes, Caldwell backed up Cheryl's pledge to freeze the rate hikes, and Gannon said that the state must, quote, stand up strong nuclear programs, natural gas, and solar. On immigration, Caldwell said violent offenders must be prosecuted, but with empathy. Gannon, on the other hand, pledged to scrap the immigrant trust detective on day one, but supported a pathway for longtime residents with clean records. Both men praised each other's services and family legacies, a marked contrast from the heated debate between Jack Chittarelli and Mikey Sherrill. Caldwell pointed to the Educational Service Commission of New Jersey, which has saved towns and schools $250 million in taxes over 10 years of pooling purchases. And honestly, these candidates, they're really finding it out, but it's really at the governor candidate level where we're seeing a lot of butting heads. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ryan. Great job by all of our panel tonight. Just a fantastic job by everybody who has been involved, especially Vincent Focht, who is here with me. Vincent, we're about to go in just a couple of minutes, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's about to transpire, right? Of course, like I said, media is it. There is no other public activity going on inside this debate. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'm really excited to get into it, see what they have to offer. Maybe we can get some interviews off. Maybe we can get some questions off as well. So, yeah, we're going to have an interesting rest of the night right here between, of course, with the second final debate between Democratic candidate for governor Mikey Sherrill and, of course, the Republican candidate for governor Jack Chittarelli. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a dogfight, but it's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be interesting. The final gubernatorial debate is in New Brunswick, where me and Vince are located. And by the way, this is just shaping up to be one of the most expensive gubernatorial races in New Jersey history. Over $100 million has been spent or committed to the campaigns. Very fascinating stuff. There's been all kinds of different polls out there. Some polls have 43-43. There's other polls that have Mikey Sherrill up 45 to 37, up by a little bit. And there's many voters still undecided at this point. So we'll see. Mikey Sherrill right now, it seems like she has the edge at the moment, according to the polls. But hey, anything can happen in elections, right? So that's what we'll find out tonight. Both candidates are going to make their case in just a little bit. So stay tuned for that. We're not covering it. I'm just saying we are not holding it on our radio station. You have to go find it on your local television stations and radio stations as well. But this was our coverage, 91.5 WDBK-FM, our coverage of the gubernatorial debate, and a great job by our entire crew, cast of characters, back at the WDBK studios in Blackwood. Before we get out of here, I want to make sure I give a quick shout out to all of the candidates, to all of our participants in this debate coverage. Vincent Focht here in New Brunswick alongside myself, Jose Fox, Ian Brown, Alyssa Lopez, Demir Mills, Sky Clement, Ryan Garospi, Savannah Mitchell, Carlos Torres, Corey Avery, and Jared George. A fantastic job by everyone back in the studio for pulling this thing off. here in the last couple of minutes and the last hour and a half. So great job by everyone back at the studio. We have a debate to get to, Vince and I, so we will get there in just a couple of minutes as the media starts filing in to the Performing Arts Center. With that being said, I'm going to send it back to the studio where, Jose, you can wrap it up and send it to break. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
And thank you for Nick and Vincent and to be at the New Brunswick area and for the coverage of this debate. And who knows what will happen within the next couple hours. And it could go one way. It could go another. It might be at a standstill. So who really knows what's going to be happening? And thanks for everybody who is listening to this coverage and listening to this entire thing. Good night and see y'all another time.
Jack Chitterelli, born on December 12, 1961, in Somerville, New Jersey, and raised in the neighboring borough of Raritan. His ultimate goal for New Jersey is to cap property taxes to a percentage of assessed home value so that working families and young people can afford to buy a home while expanding the senior property tax. Jack is an entrepreneur and small business owner, twice over, having founded 2 Main Street businesses located in New Jersey. In the public arena, he has served at every level of government, including the Raritan Borough Council, the Somerset County Freeholder Board, and the State Assembly, each time winning tough races and then voluntarily term limiting himself. Then in 2021, Jack ran for governor and re-energizing the state's Republican Party. He led the ticket of historic victories up and down the state, with Republicans picking up 7 seats in the state legislature, keep future budget growth no more than the rate of inflation, and aggressively use the line item veto pen to eliminate and prevent waste. Also reduce the corporation business tax by 1% per year for 5 years, taking it from the highest rate in the nation to one that is competitive nationally. Jack decreased income taxes for all taxpayers, consolidate tax brackets, and prohibit tax increase on home improvements, and make student loan interest tax deductible. Chitterelli will attract the younger demographic of people who move to New Jersey by refunding the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition for anyone who attends college and then lives and works in the state for a living.
This is London Olds for 91.5 WDBK, here to tell you about the candidates for Lieutenant Governor. Running for Lieutenant Governor alongside Democratic candidate Mikey Sherrill is Dr. Dale Caldwell, president of Centenary University. Born in Boston, Massachusetts, Caldwell's father was a United Methodist pastor who fought for civil rights alongside Martin Luther King Jr. Caldwell himself received his bachelor's degree from Princeton University, an MBA from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, and a doctorate in education administration from Seton Hall University. Caldwell served on the New Brunswick School Board for 26 years, his tenure including 6 years as board president. He also served as a member of the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey and served as its president for 23 out of his 25 years there. Caldwell has said that he dedicates his life in service to his church, his students, and his community, with Sherrill regarding him as a voice for the voiceless. Republican Lieutenant Governor candidate Jim Gannon has said that New Jersey is headed in the wrong direction when it comes to taxes, schools, and public safety, and that his running mate, Jack Chitterelli, is the one to turn things around. The son of a former New York City detective, Gannon started his career in law enforcement 40 years ago as a patrolman in his hometown of Boontown, New Jersey, and has been the sheriff of Morris County since 2017 and now serving his 3rd term. In addition to his career in the police force, Gannon has also served in the Boontown Fire Service and Ambulance Squad, as well as the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. Once again, I am London Olds for 91.5 WDBK, and those are your 2025 New Jersey Lieutenant Governor candidates.
Thank you for tuning in to 91.5 WDBK-FM, the voice of Camden County College, for tonight's coverage of the Gubernatorial Debate to elect the next New Jersey governor.
This is Francisco Rojas, and you are listening to